OT Life Hacker here. So I just got back from finishing my simulated client encounter. Woohoo! Yay! And for those of you who may not be familiar with it, this is being an OT, occupational therapy student, and honestly, I bet this is for other healthcare programs too, that you will have client simulated encounters, meaning that you practice assessments or interventions with a role-playing client, someone who is acting as your client, and there may be a rater in the room as well. Depends on how it's set up, how your program does it. And what I gather from this is it's to look at the combination of your knowledge, skills, how you work in a dynamic situation, because with clients you're always having to interact with someone, right? So you never really know what to expect, and you have to respond professionally and ethically in the moment. And in essence, this helps to look at your clinical reasoning and also helps you to practice your clinical reasoning. And for occupational therapy, we want to make sure that we're providing safe and occupation-based interventions. Now, I was thinking that maybe you might find it interesting to see how I prepare for this type of work, what would you call it? Assignment, task they need to do, client simulations. And I would love to see how you do it, how you prepare for something, whether it be similar or something that's big to you, something that you feel you need to do preparation. It's a presentation or it's an exam. How do you prepare for these nerve-wracking experiences? And so I'm going to share on how I have prepared for this one and in the past ones. And I hope to see in the comments how you do it, because always we are learners for life, so we can always learn from each other. And that's why sharing our ideas, that's why I'm sharing ideas, so that we can learn from each other, learn with each other. Now, for me, so again, every person has different ways for learning and preparing. So it may or may not work for you, but you can pick and choose what does. Give yourself some options, try it out. And what I did to prepare for today's case simulation was planning ahead, time management. So for me, I need to make sure that I have balance, the occupational balance in my life. And that means having time for, of course, you have school, also have fun activities, whether it be with friends or your own type of leisure, and exercise, family and friends time, which for me is talking with my family on the phone or hanging out with my family or friends in person, and rest and relaxation. And that for me includes meditation and just time by myself in complete peace and silence. Now, let's see so as I'm learning the material, I'm compiling this information into a document for myself for what I'll need to know for the client simulation. Many times you'll have a rubric that you'll be given, or of course instructions, so you can see what to expect and you can ask your professors questions So I compile the necessary information into a document, figure out an organization that works for me, and it's a compilation of the readings, lectures, research I find online, whether it be from journal articles or from just maybe possibly even Wikipedia, dare I say it, if it's something that you find in other sources, and from other YouTube videos that I can find. So last week, as it was approaching for this week, about a week before the case simulation that I had today, I had been practicing every day, and even if it was briefly, so I may have had some very formal practice sessions where I do the entire simulation from knocking on the door, entering the room, giving my my spiel, and going through the whole simulation as if I'm actually doing the patient encounter, client encounter. Or I will do it just intermittently as I'm doing something like cooking or my self-care activities, like say I'm taking showering or brushing my teeth or exercising. I can be practicing concepts in my head, and of course this practice comes from having compiled all that information so that it's encoded in my memory. And for other times in practice, for easier retrieval for myself, having mnemonics or having some sort of memory strategy helps me a lot. And also throughout last week, I had a few study sessions between classes and over the weekend with some friends, and it helps a lot to study with different people and to study with people in general, but to study with different people, because part of the best things I imagine in school is that you get to learn from so many other people who you see every day. You get to learn a lot about the different ways that they learn information and study for tests like this. And so take the opportunities, whatever opportunities you can have for yourself, go for them. Now, just before my nighttime meditation, my rest and relaxation time, I would also practice concepts in my head. And if I had forgotten something, or I'm trying to think of what that concept is in depth, the details, I will have either on my phone or my document printed out for easy access to refer to. And again, the planning ahead aspect is so important, because many times you get inundated with a lot of things, but you want to be proactive. Well, for me, I definitely need to be proactive in having everything set in a regimen so that I do not feel the need to react to the test is coming up and I need to just spend all my time working on that, because your self-care, your exercise, eating, all of that might take a dive. And that has happened to me in the past. So hence I need to learn from that, and am learning from it. And it has especially helped me for this time in having that balance and having that preparation. So every day, even though the exam was coming up, I had maintained my routine of exercise and healthy eating, cooking myself my meals, and still making time to talk with friends and family, and also turning study sessions into some fun time. So we'll be studying and then go out for some food or some just like time to talk not about school. And something that I have recently started is, if I need to practice by myself, I used to just practice like in front of the mirror or just to myself. However, I thought that it might be more interesting to practice in front of a camera, videotape myself, because it feels like I'm being watched or being judged, and that is what I need. That's like an extra kick, a dynamic kick for me, because it gives me, I get nervous in front of cameras, in front of people, and so it helps a lot to have this preparation, talking in front of the camera. And also, you can look back on it to see how it went, what you can improve on. And something that I may try for the next times is having the video. So I video recorded myself as I did the intervention, as I did the practice, as I practiced for my case simulation, went through concepts and acted it out as if I'm actually with the person. And so this helps me a lot because, as I said, I can go through it and see where I need to improve, even if it's just like in how I'm presenting myself. If I'm slouching too much, I need to open up and straighten up and maintain a calm demeanor. And you know how so how you can get feedback from one another, just like in editing each other's papers. You could also send, exchange with classmates if they want to do video recordings or whatnot. You could exchange with classmates to see if they if this would be helpful to them to have a recording of the concepts and such that will be on the exams. And they could also give you feedback if there was an error they saw in the information you provided. And in general, this could be very helpful to others, to have a recording that they can refer to and see other ways of studying as well. Also, I would want to have the videos done much in advance, so probably at least like a week in advance of the test, so that I myself can plug myself into my earphones and listen to it while I'm doing cooking, running, what have you. And again, to reiterate, personally what works best for me is having the practice simulated as close as possible to the real thing, because then it becomes like a routine for me, and I become more comfortable to go into the room with someone else there and talk to them, and my body will be able to assimilate better, just to go with the routine of what I had been practicing. Alright, so I am excited to see what all of you do for your preparation, whether it be for a client simulation or if it would be for anything that it requires big preparation for you. And I think that's it. Okay, talk to y'all later. Bye bye.